world a better place. Gonna make the world a better place. Gonna make it home.
Okay.
What's going on, everybody?
Yo. Hey.
It's Dr. Jeremy Cross.
I'm Dr. Allie Cross.
And this is Footprints, the Blueprints. Yo, we just got done shooting a reel.
Yep, sure
Probably
did.
one of your favorite things to do.
No, it's not.
You absolutely hate them.
It's not that I hate them. It's that it involves a lot of acting, which is okay. You have flyers in your hair.
I'm not quite ponied yet, so I got little flyers poking out.
I need to do your hair.
Yeah.
Bad, actually.
Bad?
I mean, it's been a while.
It's been a while. You need to tie me up a little bit. But I'm almost there. I'm almost completely ponied.
Yeah, you got some stragglers.
Little strags.
Anyway, it's not that I don't like reels. I think they're fine. But it gets a little stressful because we try to do them and it's acting and we got to get the right shot. And usually we're on a time constraint, which is not great with the creative process. So there's just a lot of things with it. And then you have to sit down and research and edit. And truthfully, those are not joggers. How do those feel? Sorry to change the subject.
Oh, they feel great. Yeah, the cargos.
Yeah, these are our new Fabletic Scrubbos. Here, I'll stand up.
Fabletics, what's up?
The cargo pantsies.
The cargo edition. We ain't here.
Anyway, it's social media. I mean, social media is not great. It's hard, and there's a lot of things to do.
I think it's harder than people think.
Yes, and it's not an easy gig. It's not free money. It's not a free. You got to work at it, and not everybody's good at it, and you have to follow trends and do a lot of research. And so, I don't know. I
think for some people, doing social media and doing content is more natural. And then for others, right, it's like pulling teeth because it's not natural to be, to act, right?
I mean, I think it's natural for you to do it. And
we're talking about you, though.
Okay, I do really good, actually.
You do really good, yeah. So, but I mean,
I also have 100 bajillion other things that I'm trying to also do. And so when we have to do the reels, it's great and we get it done. But no, it's not ideal.
Well, I think what happens is most people think we have a social media manager, which is me. I'm the social media manager. So we handle different parts of our practice. I do a lot of the marketing. We both see patients. And
then I do all of the other stuff.
Wow.
No,
you might as well just name this show like roasting.
We do.
Your husband.
You said marketing and see patients.
Yeah, I mean, but marketing is all encompassing. There's a lot of things that we do, whether it's doing fundraisers with philanthropy stuff, whether it's putting together our annual boys basketball event that we do locally here in Bremerton and we offer scholarships, whether it's working with certain brands in order to get donations for those things. So
we both do our part. What I was referencing is the back office of the company.
Yeah, you do a lot, and I appreciate.
I'm the CEO. Is that easier for me to say that?
I tell people all the time that you're the CEO of our company.
I know. So when I say I do everything else, that's essentially the CEO.
I think it's interesting because most people assume that I'm the CEO of the company, and then I have to let them know, like, actually, my wife is the CEO of the company. Yeah. So it's just giving credit where credit's due. But it's a timing thing, right? Our practice has gotten busier. And so because of that, it's a lot harder to designate that time to do social media and do reels. This is why we wanted to do podcasting, because we could designate a time during the day. Okay, we're going to podcast at noon.
But it's also nice to show who we are authentically. That's a big thing for me. And I think that's also why I don't like social media a lot of the time, because it's fake. And a lot of people, it's not real for a lot of people. They pretend, or I'm trying to think of the right word and I can't think of it. But it's like Facebook, right? It's like any social media platform that
only
people
shows the positive stuff usually.
Yeah, exactly. And so I feel like this platform for us allows us to talk about the real things.
Yeah.
I wanted to name this The Real Office because we talk about this stuff, and I'm not here to say, oh, our life is great all the time and everything, because it's not.
Right.
We have a very nice life and we work very hard, but it still doesn't. There's still the ups and downs, and I just feel like social media cannot be truthful about that.
I think that you're seeing people's highlight reels.
Yeah.
Right? So because of that, a lot of the times you're like, man, we're not seeing the other side of life, and there's other emotions, right? There's anger, there's sadness, right? And so we wanted to create a podcast where we would be able to be vulnerable, right? And empathetic, and talk about some of the really sensitive topics that are not addressed typically on social media.
Or they get shut down or they get blocked or whatever.
I was thinking in my head though, like as you were talking about, oh, I don't like social media. I'm like, oh, you're going to get roasted in the comments because someone's going to be like, you don't like social media, but you're on here doing a podcast. Like that's what happens. You know what I mean? It's like,
yes, but the platform, I could also write a book, which is also something that we're doing. Yeah. And well, I mean, there's always going to be a comment about something all the time, just like there is in clinic. Just like everybody wants their money back, even though they order a prescription item.
Yeah.
It's this day and age, there's always a comment, and it's usually not nice. And so it's trying to protect yourselves from people's opinions, unsolicited opinions. We hear about it all the time. It's like being pregnant and everyone touching your stomach. Like, stop touching me. This isn't your child. This isn't your body.
Or someone being like, can I touch your hair?
Well, yeah, right.
Yeah. I got asked the other day, it's like, what ethnicity are you?
At least they asked the right way.
I did. I told them that. I was like, at least you were, appropriate in how you asked. Because people, if you come to me and say, what race are you? I'm like, that doesn't make any sense to me because there's only one human race. So I don't understand the question. But
then if you say that, then you're kind of being an asshole about it. And people are like, oh. Ooh, yeah. They're taking back. Ooh.
They are taken back. I mean, I've said it multiple times, right? I have to be cognizant of my tone and my posture, all those things, right? And so that has been probably one of the biggest challenges for me as a young Black provider is having to cope and deal with people who say culturally inappropriate things, right? Like I never approach people in those manners. And there are people of certain cultures that feel that they can ask questions.
Cultures and age groups.
100%. Yeah.
Let's just be clear.
Yeah. And it's somewhat of a generalization, but it does seem to be that certain cultures and certain age groups do say things that are not appropriate, especially in today's day and age. And so that's challenging for me, right? Like, how do I compartmentalize that without coming across and being that angry Black guy or irate Black guy, or he had an attitude, or right? And it's something that I never talked. Lower than my baby girl. It's something that I don't ever really talk about. The only person I talk about is obviously with my mom or my best friend Steph or Dwight or you. You know what I mean? Because I feel like even when it's brought up, there's this stigma of like, well, why do we have to talk about it? I'm like, why do we have to talk about it? So I
got to live this life every single day.
Every day.
We don't talk about it because it makes you feel uncomfortable.
Correct. Imagine how I feel.
Yeah.
With your unsolicited comments. Like, it makes me feel really uncomfortable inside. And I've been talking about it more, obviously, because I want other people who may look like me, who want to go and become a physician, to know, like, you are going to deal with these challenges, just like you deal with certain challenges as a woman. But I didn't let that stop my progression, right? I had to understand I am not going to be able to change everyone and how they view me particularly, or you because you're a female. But what I can do is I'm going to operate, like I always say, in love. And I'm going to show them that I'm not the person that is depicted on the media. Mm-hmm. I'm a father, I'm a husband, I'm a son, I'm a provider, I'm a philanthropist. There are so many positive things that come with someone that may look like me in my position that we don't talk about, right? It's usually those negative things that you're hearing. And so,
well, I think what I find is when we talk about these things, people look at us like we're negative people.
Yes.
Like, why do you have to talk about that? Why can't you just be happy and, da-da-da-da. And you're just like, that's what you don't get though. Like, we're talking about something that is our life every single day. And it's not that we are trying to find the negatives in what it is. But again, it's like talking about what the difference is. Talking about the difference is okay. And the generation, how many long ago? 3 generations ago, the boomer generation, I'll say it outright, that they didn't talk about anything. And so covering it up, brushing it under the rug, like, that's a problem for me. because you don't actually talk about the problem. You just let it go. But do you really let it go? And then there's resentment and there's all of these things. And there's no communication about why there is a difference. Or, I mean, sure, we know the difference, like your skin is darker than mine. But what happens with that difference in society on a day-to-day basis is insane. I bet you that patient encounter that happened today would have been different had I been the provider than if you were the provider.
Absolutely. Yeah. I 100% agree. And that's
infuriating for me. Like, infuriating. I was in that room and I was about to blow up because I just saw how the smile you had to give to make sure that we didn't, quote unquote, get a bad Google review, or that they didn't go and bad talk us because you didn't do something that they were asking for, which is not normal practice for us to do, but you did it anyway. And then her audacity to say, well, I mean, I don't talk bad about you. You shouldn't.
Yeah.
You shouldn't.
No, it's hard because it feels at times that if there's any mistakes made, this is why anyone that knows me on a personal level knows I'm a very particular person. Like, pillows out of place, there's a piece of trash on the floor. Anytime you come into my office, I want to make sure that you're having that Disneyland experience and nothing looks out of place, because I feel 100% judgment.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right? And so in that moment where I'm in a very challenging situation with a patient and I feel that they're being culturally insensitive, and
they're taking advantage of your place in society. And I mean that because you are a Black male. You are
what they view my place
not
in society
equivalent,
to be.
right? And that,
in their mind.
And so the understanding of where and who they were raised in, they were older.
Yeah.
And so they would subconsciously
subconscious bias, yes.
Put you under, right? Yeah. And so you're having to get up to them.
Absolutely.
And then they're oblivious because they don't see it. Right. And then they're going to go away. And this is what happens too, is I go in as I'm giving this reimbursement check. I'm stern because I'm not happy, but here it is. You don't return prescription eyeglasses, but we're going to return your prescription orthotics. Don't worry about it. Oh my gosh, I didn't know. Okay, well, they'll remember you. They'll still remember me, but my reaction, my attitude towards them, they will then turn into you, that you were like that. You were giving them the cold shoulder, which in reality obviously was not the case. You were killing them with kindness, and I was the one that was being stern.
Yeah.
But the way that they twist it, because of their history and what they perceive as what their experience was, would actually be very different.
Oh, if
than
you
what
ask
happened.
them.
Oh,
if
yeah,
you ask
it will
them
be
100%,
it will be different.
It would be that I was giving them attitude and that I was being arrogant, or even though literally I'm sitting there smiling, being
giving
apologetic.
Free medical advice to the husband who was the one demanding the money back.
Yeah, it's crazy. No, it's a very challenging thing. These are things that we faced as a married couple of different cultures and ethnicities, right? And so I just appreciate the fact that I do have you, and you have my back in those regards. Although you cannot ever fully understand what it is like to be me, just like I can never understand what it's like to be you. You are empathetic to the things that happen. And I think what happens is when people are unwilling to hear a perspective, right?
Because it makes them uncomfortable.
They're then unable to be empathetic.
Because they turn into self.
Correct.
This makes me feel uncomfortable, so I can't even hear or listen to what you have to say at this point.
Yeah, I mean, and I had to address what was it that I did that made you feel that you had to tell me that, hey, by the way, I've never said anything negative about you.
Yeah, what did you say? What did they say?
I didn't even know how to respond. So that's like someone being like,
she just kept
I want you to know I'm not
repeating
racist.
herself.
You're like, what?
She just kept saying it, and it was like, why are you even saying it out loud? Like, my first instinct wouldn't have thought that you were bad mouthing me.
I never would have thought that.
But
so now I think that.
She was saying it like she was, and she was defending herself. So it was such a weird dynamic. And I was, it was infuriating. And then it affects you the rest of the day. And you try not to let it affect you because it's not worth it. It's these patients come and go. They're not, they're not worried about it, I mean, it's just when you do everything you can, like to do everything the right way and to be good and to be, on top of all of this stuff, it's just like, it's so discouraging sometimes. And it's so frustrating on so many different levels of having to deal with all of the onion layer peels under onion. I don't know, whatever. It's just annoying.
I think it's just what it boils down to is there is a lot of things that take place behind those closed doors inappropriately. Like there's times I've had crazy stuff happen and I have to come out and tell you because I'm like, I can't even believe that patient did XYZ. You know what I mean?
Right.
And
or how the patients are to the staff, and then they'll be like nasty to the staff. And then we walk into the room and they're like, hi.
They're super nice,
and you're just like, I just know how you treated them. Like, I don't like you. It's like people who are assholes to service, like waiting staff, like waitresses and servers. Like, I hate those people because those are the ones who are nasty. And I don't like you.
Like you're my servant, get my food.
Yeah, I don't like you. I don't have to like you. Don't be mean. Don't be mean.
By the way, quick question.
What
is the dirtiest part of a restaurant?
Oh. I don't know. I do not put fruit in my water because you don't ever know where that fruit falls on when the bartender's cutting the lemons and limes. Just saying.
But if you had to guess, what would be the dirtiest part of the restaurant, right? Like, what's the dirtiest thing in the restaurant?
Knobs are always dirty. Handlebars.
The menu.
Ew. That's probably why they're getting rid of the menus. They always have, which is annoying to me. I get annoyed that there's no hand menus, but
the QR code pops up.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's not working on your phone. And that can be frustrating.
No, you're never going to see me put lemon in my water.
I don't like the taste of lemon in water.
No, those peels aren't clean, so.
Yeah, we've seen those fall on floors and then get picked back up.
Yeah, in the bars. Disgusting.
Yeah. It's one of those like, so check your lemon.
Ew! Ew! Don't do that again.
That's what it's like. Is there something in my over there? Is there something in my mouth? But no, different challenges each and every day that you go. I know that everyone has their things that they deal with, and so for us, it's just having a platform where you can actually talk about those.
Yesterday was interesting. So obviously it's a political climate right now, and I was coming out of patient room, and I've seen this patient several times, and he starts talking to me about politics, assuming I was one way or the other, and my staff starts laughing because it wasn't right, and I stay really neutral, and it was just interesting, and I thought to myself, like, I wonder if this guy's going to come back, because now he knows that we're not on the same page, but I didn't say anything one way or the other. But
Did you tell him your political stance?
No.
Okay, I was about to say, I
did not
avoid that at all costs.
I said that I'm neutral, which I am, but I was like, the things that he was saying about the runner, I just was like, it's so bad. What makes him think that he should be talking to me about politics? Not even in the room. It was in the open area in front of the staff. Like, there could have been other people listening, and you're just like, that puts us as a provider in such a pickle because people can have all different types of beliefs. I think it's intentional. But what made him think that right now? Like, why would you ask me that right there?
I'm going to ask you that question in front of these people. Right? To see how you respond.
I felt like I responded it pretty well.
Yeah. You have to always, for me, it's always, anytime you ask me a question, it's a setup.
Yeah, I agree.
That's just how I am. Like, if you're asking me a question in my place of business,
it's those recordings.
It's a setup. I'm like, nope, I'm not, right?
You can talk to my lawyer.
You can speak to my attorney. Because I'm not answering that question at all, right? Like, I am very much like, I mean, you feel that way, and I think that's great. But I'm gonna go see the next patient. I hope you have a great day.
Yeah,
bye. Yeah, absolutely.
It's interesting. The medical world, just the job in general. I don't know.
Would you want your kids to go and be providers?
No.
I'd have to say no too.
I would want them to be happy.
Yeah.
I think medicine is too hard on the soul. It's too hard on the soul because there's so many things that go into being a doctor, that it's not just taking care of patients. If it was just taking care of patients and you weren't having to make a living with it, you weren't having to have staff, you weren't having to do all of those things, deal with insurances. I mean, so let's say we go direct care. So insurance companies aren't a problem. You're still dealing with patients who don't want to pay bills, who are going to argue about your service when they signed the documentation to say, hey, I'm accepting essentially your fee schedule. Like, it's hard because medicine is just so
it's changed. Hard. I mean, it's always changing, but it's definitely changed so much. I mean, it is.
I love helping people. I love it. I mean, I love helping. I love educating. That is a huge part of my life. I love philanthropy. I love giving back. But you have to have a job. You have to like make money. And if you are a pro bono physician, great. I think that would be wonderful.
But it's not the reality.
But that's not the reality.
You got student loan debt that is increasingly getting high. Interest rates are crazy.
But even if you had no loans, when you are having a patient come and see you, you are taking on their energy.
Yeah.
You are trying to make them better. You are using your knowledge base based off of your education on how to make them better. That doesn't guarantee that they're gonna be better. They're relying on you to be better. They come back in a month and they're not better. That energy is off.
Yeah.
And then it's struggling. You're racking your brain. Okay, what can we do next? And you have your, box of tools to try to make them better. But for some of these patients, it doesn't work. But that's constantly like the best part of my days are when patients come in and say, hey, I'm pain-free. And luckily we have that a lot, but you don't. There's times where you don't. And those times when it doesn't, it hurts. It really hurts your soul because you don't want these people to be in pain and it's frustrating.
It's probably hard too because there are times where people do pay for products and it just may not work. It happens, you know what I mean? And I try to tell my patients all the time, I am a guide.
Yeah.
Right? I use those terms because I'm not here to dictate your healthcare.
Well, you can also tell them what to do and what you recommend. That doesn't mean that they're going to do it.
And it doesn't mean it's going to work for them.
Yeah,
anti-inflammatories work differently for different people, right? Like different products work differently for different people. So you have to know that, right? And I think it's just about informing them like, hey, I'm going to go through the progression of what things I've seen work in the past. This may or may not work for you, but no matter what, I'm going to be with you along this journey. And I may not be able to heal everything, but I can listen.
Yeah, right.
I can listen. I can educate you on the things that I may know to hopefully guide you in the right direction on your way to being healed, whether that's by me or another provider or another person. To me, it doesn't really matter as long as you're getting better. But it's just it's a challenging field. And so anytime we can get anyone better, it's a win. But there are going to be those cases where you run in, just like in any profession, unless you're not having to interact with people, which that's probably why people go into tech. I should have maybe gone into technology. But I mean, I've already done the bid, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, but then you're sitting at a computer. You still have to interact with people somewhat.
Through email.
My gosh. You're sounding like a true millennial. You hate email.
I do hate email.
Don't send him an email. You'll never get a response back.
It went to my spam. It went right to my spam. I'm sorry.
He's like, can you send me that email? I'm like, the email that you got?
Too much, man. It's too much exposure all the time, man.
It's access. It's really.
I don't need everyone to have access to me 24/7. Like,
yeah, I don't even have access to me. So I mean,
24/7.
It's crazy.
Yeah, it absolutely is.
But it is funny. It is dumpster day.
I feel like anytime we're podcasting, someone wants to go.
Dumpster day. It is the
Wednesday is dump day. We should do Wednesday dump day.
Wednesday dump day. Dump day.
Dump.
We should. What is it going to be dumped? What are we going to dump? New, funny something. We got to think about that.
Oh no, anyway. We're dumping a reel.
We are dumping a reel. That's why we're dressed in our scrubbies.
Yeah, but I don't know what else we could dump.
Anyway, we'll have to think about it. Check out next time for the Wednesday dump deal.
The Wednesday dump truck dump. Man, so we're about to go take some vacation time.
Yeah, I'm excited about that. It'll be good quality time. The girls just started roller skating, which has been interesting. I have wiped out twice. Like my foot still hurts. Look, it hurts so bad. I can't even put it in my shoe.
So we've been teaching the girls how to roller skate. They also want to simultaneously learn how to skateboard.
At the same time.
And they also our youngest is learning how to ride her bike. Meanwhile, we're trying to paint this very large built-in bookshelf at our house that we had to have painted and prepared because we were getting glass. We're getting a mirror and glass shelves put in. We'll have to show you guys that. I think it turned out pretty cool. So always juggling. Right?
Well, because paint, when you have young children and a dog, it's stressful because it's also dark paint, and we just got all of our walls painted light color, and so it's just a little bit. And they want to help. The girls want to help, and I love that they help. But I totally feel bad because
but you don't love the paint
I went back into my mom or the drips.
Yeah, there's a drip over there, guys. I'm like, they're 4 and 6. They're gonna be. They're gonna be
it's
drips.
not just them that make drips.
Yeah, we love you, Mom.
Okay.
She's coming after me.
Yourself too.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of moms, our mom's in the building.
My mom's here, you guys. Hey, she will not get in front of the camera.
She probably won't get in front of the camera, but we're podcasting. Mom, can you come say hi? Just come say hi. Come say hi.
She's hi. She's
no,
waving
not you can't hide behind the camera.
What are you here for?
Just
what are you doing?
Come wave and say hi, and then you can leave.
Oh, for not here.
She's not here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we can tidy up.
We're gonna close it up. You're gonna come say hi, Mom. No.
No, she's not, but we're going to get off so we can spend time with her.
We're going to jump off. Hey, guys. I'm Dr. Jeremy Cross.
And I'm Dr. Allie Cross.
And this is Footprints.
Have a day. Have a great day, you guys.
Gonna make the world a better place. Gonna make it home.
What are you doing?